How you doing, guys? Welcome to another episode or edition, even of Show Business. We're joined today with a very special lady. She has worked on Broadway productions, musicals. She's a singer, brilliant all-round performer. Let's welcome Linda John Pierre. How you doing, Linda?
Hello, hello, Gordy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm
Good.
good. Tell us what you're working on at the moment, please.
I'm working on and a very exciting project, which is Panto, which is going to be at the Bristol Hippodrome with David Hasselhoff, and also looking forward to going back to the States next in January. So it's going to be good times.
Yeah, brilliant. That's Chicago, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
Chicago, the Broadway production.
yeah, brilliant. Um, so what's your background then, as well as like theatre, musical theatre? What other singing based musical stuff have you done?
I've basically, oh my God, I've sung for so many years. But I've sung at, the Black Cap in London, gay nightclub, which was just amazing, great stepping stone for confidence boosting. I've done corporate functions, I've sung since I was 16. And then obviously just basically moved into acting.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Um, what are some of the other productions that you've been part of?
Some of the other productions I've been part of were Sweet Soul Music, which was singing all the songs from Aretha Franklin, um, Blues Brothers, which was a UK tour, Billie Holiday Story, which was um, the life of, and times of Billie Holiday. I played her mother, which was a UK and Ireland tour. So it's fantastic. Yeah, I've been all over the UK and, hope to continue just doing what I'm doing. We're doing what I love.
Yeah. Um, okay, so what are your inspirations musically as a singer or
Oh,
musical theatre?
right. Inspirations, gosh, there's so many, but people that generally have fantastic vocal, because if you've got a fantastic vocalist standing in front of you just belting out a number, it will just either bring you to tears or you'll be like, oh my God, the hairs on my arms are standing up. Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Alita Adams, Chaka Khan, Elvis, Whitney, Celine, Adele, Professor Green.
Just to go from one extreme to the other.
Exactly.
What are your feelings about reality television? Like, how do you feel about things like X Factor?
Oh God, don't get me started on the X Factor. Well, only because I back in 2006 I was involved in the X Factor as a contestant, and I got as far as being the final 16 for with Sharon Osbourne as my mentor, and I kind of saw the whole process as to how they choose people, how they want to get more, people to view the program, and it's just so exploitive. It's unreal. It's unreal. Admittedly, I don't actually watch whilst they're performing, but I kind of watch the results show, and it's just pure exploitation. It kind of sickens me, really, to be honest. And how it's not come out that the show's fixed, even though people know it's fixed, but this is just absolute. It's a joke this year. It's an absolute joke. Exploitation of people who have never been on television. I could go on about it forever, really, which I'm not going to because it just sounds as if I'm probably a bitter ex-contestant. Do you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
like when you actually go through it and you go through it yourself and you experience it, then your eyes are really opened. But if people want to experience doing the X Factor, then go for it. You know.
How do you feel about it as an opportunity for professionals like yourself?
X Factor will give you an opportunity of being seen on television, and it will also give you an opportunity of having your 15 minutes of fame. Especially if you get booted off in the first week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or unless if you've got a really like out there personality that people will just love you. Um, but it is a stepping stone to a degree, and for however long you're actually in the show.
Moving on a completely different subject.
Mm.
What are some of your personal achievements in the industry since you started as a performer?
Okay, personal achievements. I've actually done West End. I was in a show called All You Need Is Love, which was at the Queen's Theatre in Shaftesbury Avenue back in 2000. Um, I've toured the UK. I've done Blues Brothers Meet Soul Sisters. I've done Sweet Soul Music. I've done the Billie Holiday story around the UK and Ireland. I've had #1 hit single called Night People, which went #1 in Spain.
I
And for
really
about,
like that. I was listening to it this morning.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like the music video as well. It's really good.
Yeah. So that I've had that, then I had the top 10 hit follow up with #1. The single was called #1. And and then obviously going to doing the Broadway production of Chicago, which is like huge. So the next best thing for me really would be to get a movie.
Yeah,
You
I'll
know,
see if I can sort that out for you.
yeah, that'd be great. Right?
How do you stay motivated to succeed when work gets thin on the ground and things like that? How do you keep yourself going?
Um, well, basically, I try and apply for as much of my own work as possible, and that is a challenge in itself. I am applying for more acting work rather than singing work, to tell the truth, because I've been singing for like so many years, long time. And I'm always, used to sort of singing the big belting numbers like Whitney Houston numbers and, big Chaka Khan numbers and what have you. And I'm kind of like slowly moving away from that. But I basically, to motivate myself, babe, I just literally, I'm on the internet all the time, Casting Call Pro, Cast Web, other networks, of trying to kind of like, apply for my own work,
Yeah,
as well as have an agent. But sometimes the best work just sort of comes to yourself if you apply for it yourself. It depends how determined you are to kind of
yeah.
stay motivated and keep going.
So when work does get a bit thin on the ground, what do you do in between performance jobs? What have you done in between performance jobs to get
Um,
the trust?
in between performance jobs, like doing a bit of part-time work. But as I sort of mentioned earlier, I applied to one store to work, but I couldn't, see it through because of castings that kept on coming up. So it wouldn't be fair for me to join the company, keep going for all these castings, and then obviously end up getting fired. So you obviously need to kind of like get a job that's part time, that understands what you really do, as an industry, as a profession. But as a, when you're out of work actor, you're out of work. You just try and, stay on top of like the stage, any other publications that are out there on the internet, apply for stuff yourself. You just kind of keep striving. Otherwise, if you don't, then, or if you dance, then teach dance or teach singing. That's what I've done in the past. I've actually taught singing lessons, like to students that wanted to go to university, and who have gone to university through me teaching them confidence skills and technique and you know stuff like that.
Hmm.
For anyone who's actually starting out in the industry, it depends. If you've been trained, I would basically say that being trained and working in university or college for the last 3 years is a completely different ball game to when you actually get out into the real world and start looking for work and auditioning. Some people are very, very lucky; they'll get work straight away, and some people it takes them at least 5 years to get a job. And it just you have to be remain determined, very hard skinned, like water off a duck's back. You when you go into an audition, just believe that that job is yours. Go in there with confidence. Go in there that you know your scripts, you know the sides that they give you to learn. Don't come in with any excuses because they've heard it all before. Just go in there confidently, and if you believe that you can, that job is yours, then when you've got an agent, that agent should have just as much belief in you. So just go in there confidently, no arrogance, no bullshit. Just be yourself, give them a smile, show them that you're human too, and they will allow for nervousness. I've never been trained, and look where I've been. I've got #1 singles, I've done Broadway shows, I've done West End, so if it can happen to me and I haven't been trained, then it can happen to you.
Yeah, brilliant. How long are you on tour for now, or how long you is the show?
Well, Panto, I'm going to be going to Bristol, working with David Hasselhoff, from November through to January. and obviously going back to the States in January until September.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
What's the venue in Bristol? Is it the Hippodrome?
It is Bristol Hippodrome. So if anyone wants to come and see myself as flying as one of the divas, that would be fantastic. I'd love to see you all. And obviously to see the Hoff. Don't hassle the Hoff, they say.
So many people do. So many people do hassle the Hoff.
I know.
He's just a legend.
I know, absolutely.
I just don't know why people take that. Like, what happened to make him the legend? It's just.
I know.
It's bizarre. It's
Apparently,
bizarre.
he's very down to earth, and he's apparently got a very beautiful girlfriend who's extremely down to earth, and you know she's just going out with her boyfriend. She doesn't see him as David Hasselhoff, you know,
Yeah.
which is extraordinary. Everyone says that they just make a wonderful couple, and I'm looking forward to working with him and talking to him about doing Chicago on Broadway.
Yeah.
He's done Chicago as Billy Flynn, so we've something in common already. But it'd just be a great experience to work with someone like that.
Well, please keep us posted on how you get on, and have a great tour.
Oh, bless you! Thank you so much for the Skype interview.
Hey, no problem. And anyone who's watching this, get yourself to the Bristol Hippodrome to go and see Linda Jean-Pierre.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda, I will speak to you soon.
All right, darling. Take care.
Bye.